Hi guys, let's take a look at the Suicide Squad. More specifically, I'm going to look at the classic version from the 80s, as opposed to the upcoming version that we will see in the theaters in about 2 days. Sadly, not unlike with Batman v Superman, the reception with Suicide Squad is pretty horrible. Essentially, as I'm recording this, it stands at 31% at Rotten Tomatoes, so it doesn't look good. I thought about possibly making a review of the film, but I'm not sure when I'm going to see it. I probably won't see it this weekend. So if I see it, it'll probably be in a few weeks, and by then, pretty much everyone will probably have given a review on the film. We'll see. So first, let's take a look at our friend Deadshot. This is pretty much as close as I was able to get to the character, so we can pretty much tell that this is supposed to be Deadshot. We first saw Deadshot in the pages of The Batman, although when he first appeared, he looked nothing like that. He had like a tuxedo suit, and that's pretty much how he looked at the time. But then in his second appearance, I think, he was redesigned to look pretty much like we see right now. And that is a look that he used for quite a long time. I first saw him as part of the Suicide Squad within the pages of Legends. Although I had missed out the series when it was first released, it's something I got in the back issue bins a bit later, and I had missed out about the 12 issues of the ongoing series. So I pretty much had to dig through the back issue bins in order to catch up on the awesome run that was Suicide Squad at the time. Holy crap, was it a good comic! It was essentially the Dirty Dozens with super villains. And then, of course, at some point they decided to redesign Deadshot, and as it happens way too often, they gave him a trench coat to make it look more cool, if that's even possible. And not that long after that, they pretty much redesigned the character again, and they did what they pretty much do for at least the past 15 years. They over-designed the look of the character. So they added a bunch of straps and lines and even shoulder pads, as if it was back in the 90s, which is to be expected, I guess. A lot of current artists are pretty much a product of the 90s, and we can see that in most of the designs. We do have a new PvP suit that will be added to the game pretty soon, and it's going to be a suit inspired by our friend Deadshot. Although it is going to be pretty much an over-designed version of the character's look, but still it's going to be inspired by Deadshot nonetheless. Next, we have Rick Flag, which was fairly easy to do. Essentially, a guy in a yellow tank top with some black pants and a red stripe on the side of the pants. That's pretty much Rick Flag in a nutshell, how he looked most of the time. I guess I could have given him more of a G.I. Joe look with a lot of pouches and then military gear, but most of the time I've known the character, this is pretty much how he looked, at least most of the 80s and the early 90s. Then we have the evil Captain Cold. Nowadays, people are pretty much familiar with the character thanks to the Flash TV show, but all way back when, this is pretty much how the character looked. I don't have the Captain Cold glasses, although you can have the official Captain Cold glasses in the game, but with this character I wasn't able to get them. But I do have the hoodie and pretty much everything else you can get from character creation, other than maybe the gloves and the boots, which you can get at the winter seasonals. Then we have the Parasite. For a long time, the Parasite was like purple with white stripes. I'm not sure why when the Suicide Squad started, somehow the Parasite was green. I'm not sure if it was a color mistake that lasted for a bit, because for a good chunk of the 80s, that's pretty much how the Parasite looked to me. But then at some point in the 90s, it went back to being purple with white stripes. So he came back to his old design at some point. Next, we have Kronos. I first saw the character in the pages of Legends, which is pretty much where we also saw the Suicide Squad for the first time. Although at the time he wasn't part of the Suicide Squad, he was just fighting Blue Beetle at random for reasons. And if you want to see some really cool episodes with with Kronos, you have to watch the Justice League Unlimited. There's a couple of really cool episodes with this character. And then we have Nemesis. I wasn't really able to reproduce the actual look for Nemesis, but essentially a black slimline suit with boots and the red scales on the suit pretty much sells the idea that this is supposed to be a Nemesis. I first saw him in the pages of The Brave and the Bold with the Batman, but then he was part of the Suicide Squad during the first Suicide Squad Justice League crossover, where essentially they had to go and save a Nemesis. Next, we have Mark Shaw, who was known as the Privateer at the time. Although later on he adopted a new identity as Manhunter. This was a bit after Millennium. Essentially, there was the whole bit with the Manhunter trying to infiltrate the Earth and having secret agents everywhere. And through the outmath of that storyline, Mark Shaw decided to adopt the identity Manhunter. Next we have Slipknot, which doesn't really look like that, but I couldn't really properly recreate the look. So essentially I gave him a black jumpsuit with armbands and some sort of boots that kind of sort of mimic the look he had at the time. But essentially he's missing quite a few details to actually look like Slipknot. But as often happens, this is as close to the actual look of the character as I was able to get. And next we have Captain Boomerang. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to reproduce the look of that character. And again, it doesn't really look like Boomerang, but with the color scheme and the funny hat, it kind of sells the idea that this is supposed to be Boomerang. Some of you guys may have seen the character for the first time in an episode of Arrow. If not, well, you guys might see him in the movie Suicide Squad. So that's pretty much it for the Suicide Squad. Again, I'm not sure when I'm going to see the film, so I'm not sure if I'm going to talk about it or not. I guess it depends. If I see it like this weekend, I may talk about it during the weekend. If I see it in like 3 weeks, then I'll probably not talk about it since probably by then everyone will have talked about the movie, and there probably won't be much to add to what everyone will have said. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.